Morning, kids, or afternoon, whenever it is that you're watching this. So, this lesson is going to be for the 29th of April, and today you are going to be looking at physical and chemical changes and physical chemical properties. So, we talked before about atomic basics and looking at the atomic model. The last time we were together, we looked at the atomic model and how it placed on periodic table and also some interesting facts on how to read the periodic table. Today, you're going to be looking at characteristics, either physical or chemical, of those different elements, and then physical chemical changes. So you're going to see a reading that Miss Ellie Akbar actually recorded. There's also going to be a link in the book reading. So if you don't want to read along with Miss Ellie Akbar, there's a link to it, the PDF link to it. And then if you have, a million years ago when we were together, if you have your blue book, then we're going to be reading from page 27 of this today, the section over physical chemical properties. There's also going to be some notes that you need to jot down. You're going to be taking a little check for understanding. That's what CFU stands for on the reading. And then you're going to be directed to Brain Pop, talking about property changes. You're going to take a little quiz from what you learned on Brain Pop. There's going to be a couple chemical physical change videos, and then I'm also going to put in some links here so that you can go and practice to see the difference between physical and chemical, and then there's going to be one last little practice there. So first, when you're going to talk about physical and chemical change, we know that if we're looking at physical or physical chemical properties, right, physical properties are smell the candle, I can see the candle, I can touch the candle, right? I know that the color of this is like a creamy white. Okay, those are physical properties. Chemical property is going to be something that, like, what happens when it reacts with something, right? So if we looked at last time the periodic table, we said the very first family, that alkali metal family, is going to be the most reactive because it only has one valence electron. Looking at the properties, the reactive properties of those, are they explosive? Do they as soon as they come in contact with other materials, do they ignite or start a fire or whatever? Okay, and then you're going to be looking at chemical physical changes. So when something changed, did it only change physically or did it change chemically? So for example, my candle here, right? I know that if I heat up this candle, right, let's say without putting any fire, if this were just sitting out in the sun, or if put it in the microwave for whatever reason, the wax inside of it, the wax is going to melt, right? The wax will come. That wasn't melted, those were just little crumbs. The wax is going to melt. That's just going to be a physical change. You can undo it, right? Okay. A chemical change is going to be something like if I light the candle. So if you see the wick, ahead of time? This has not been done before, right? So I'm going to chemically change the wick of this candle by lighting it on fire, right? So I'm actually, in a sense, making a new substance that is ash and smoke. So the difference there, if I were to take a piece of paper, let's hope my husband doesn't need this paper anymore. If I take this paper, he probably needs it. Let me find something. Let me find something else. Let me find something else. Oh, how about this rinky-dink little piece of paper here? If I take this tiny little paper and I rip it, it's still paper. It's still paper. The paper's still there. It's just small. It's still paper. I did not change the paper, but let's hope I don't burn down my house. If I set the paper on fire, right? Okay, so here's the paper on fire. Oh, geez. Okay, I made a new substance. I can't undo that. I can't change that back into paper, right? So that's a chemical. Oh my God. Oh, it smells like burning. I'm not on fire, I promise. That's a chemical change. I can't undo the burning of the paper, right? I can't unburn toast. Okay. I can't unburn my cupcakes. Okay. Those are chemical changes. Anyways, that's a nice little introduction video for you for what you are going to be doing today. Today, make sure you get those things turned in. I lost my notes. Did I just set my notes on fire? I hope not. No, I didn't. I'm going to put another little video in here, right around here, so you can see my lovely face again. I miss you guys. This is crazy. Just talking to myself. Maybe. I hope I'm talking to you.